So while we wait, I'll also take this opportunity. So like me and Dr. Shakti have started this series of discussions which relate to common ailments, common things that we kind of struggle with in general day-to-day life, and a simple practice is what Dr. Shakti's YouTube channel is also there. And this is an effort, and I am also conducting interviews with other mental health specialists and with artists. I'm running a channel called In Conversation with Akshat Sinha on YouTube only. You can look at the few uploads that we have made there. Right. So the
mental health is quite an important issue nowadays.
Absolutely.
We have, many people coming with, feeling low and down and having, problems like panic attacks and, so stressful situation nowadays.
Yeah.
Still, although we have come out of lockdown,
yes,
but still many people are finding it very stressful to cope nowadays with the situation.
that's true.
So
That's
I hope your videos help people in some way or the other. So,
yes. I mean, we can only make an initiative to create awareness and allow this opportunity for people to feel it is possible to reach out and seek help as and when it is required.
Because you see, the important thing is that there is no medication which we need to give for this. It is pure and simple counseling which is required.
I think it depending on the severity of the situation, that is something. But yeah, I mean, another thing that I have seen with the recent unfortunate suicide of Sushant Singh Rajput, the Bollywood actor, the challenge is that a lot of people are saying that they are open to help, which is a good thing. They should create that network for their friends and family. But I have a feeling that at some point of time, beyond this, there is a need for more conscious and educated counselors to do this activity. I just personally feel that is...
there is always a need, because the counselor is an absolutely neutral person, a third party, and he or she is the most important person who will help you, because they will be able to give you tips on how to cope with. Family and friends is different. Family and friends they know you, and they will always be a bit judgmental.
Yeah.
But counselors are independent of all that.
That is true. So that speaking to probably a third person who is not from your, with whom you're not fearful or embarrassed to speak about it can ease things. But I think generally in the society we can try and create a little more, empathetic circle of human beings who will make sure that to be aware of the other person's needs, try to step up and help. And so I think this empathy and compassion is and to be not judgmental is a very important thing.
But very difficult.
Very difficult, very difficult. On a personal basis also, we need to keep changing ourselves. Right. So Dr. Shakti, I think it is time to start the session.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us for this session of A Simple Practice. Last week we discussed about the chemistry of heartburn, and we discussed what are the what's and the hows of it. And I wonder if you could refresh our memory.
Okay, revise. So heartburn is that uncomfortable feeling that you have in your chest, that is a sort of a burning sensation,
right,
which happens because of backflow of acid from the stomach into the food pipe.
Right.
So this is because the valve which connects the two becomes weak.
Right.
And so this acid, when it goes up the food pipe, it causes this burning sensation.
Right.
So what do you remember of
no, so and because this the food pipe is located behind the heart. So which is why it is called the heartburn, but not necessarily happening in the heart itself. So I think we also discussed about the things that we do and how they impact our lifestyle, generally how it impacts by not eating properly, eating too fast, or irregular.
How we eat is
how
very
we
important.
Eat. Yeah.
So we have to eat at regular intervals.
Right.
Then eat slowly, not fast.
Yeah.
If you eat fast, you actually tend to take in more air. Or
Right.
suppose you talk while you eat, again you tend to take in air, and that is why we have what we call belching or burping, because that extra air comes out.
Right.
And of course that is also an uncomfortable feeling, and not only for the person itself but also for the others. So again, how we eat and what we eat.
We did discuss briefly as to what we eat, and you were telling us about the spicy food and fried food and impacts of alcohol and smoking and coffee, aerated drinks. But a lot of these things are things that a person craves for. I'm not talking even in terms of addiction, where you cannot live without them. But even on a regular basis, off and on, you would want to indulge in them and consume them. Is it a strict no completely? I mean, or do you think it is possible to
Absolutely not a strict no. I think we all understand our bodies and the way our body reacts to different kind of foods.
Right.
So if you think that, if you are having, for example, 3 or 4 cups of tea in a day or coffee in a day, it is a bit, over the edge. So if you can cut down and see the difference.
Right.
So you are still having it, but of course in a limited quantity.
Right.
And, as regards fatty food and fried food, like the occasional paratha or samosa, so definitely we can have it once in a while.
Yeah.
But not on a regular basis, like having paratha daily for breakfast.
Right.
Is not very good or healthy. Yes.
Okay.
So if you have it once a week, I think it's fine. And you should know your limit. Like you should not if you're having it and you like it, and then you tend to overeat.
Yeah, that is a problem, I think.
So I think the whole thing is to not to give in to temptation and to satisfy your craving in a balanced manner.
Which will give us an opportunity to do it
regularly. Yes.
Otherwise, if you develop such symptoms, and then it becomes difficult.
Yes, definitely.
Right. So, what other factors do you think that we need to share?
So, how we eat, what we eat, then smoking, alcohol, and weight. Because if you're overweight, then this valve is again pressed by the extra, belly fat.
Okay.
It is a mechanical pressure on the valve which can weaken it over time. So again, losing weight, which means not giving in to temptation again. So I think these are the...
I think I remember that we used to be told not to lie down immediately after
eating.
Yes,
very important. Yeah. So after having your meal, you should not lie down, but sit maybe in a chair or in a sofa for at least 1 hour.
Right.
And if you can do it for 2 hours, it will be good, so that the food passes, from the stomach further.
Right.
And the amount of acid in the stomach goes down.
Okay.
So yes, this is also an important thing that you can do.
It's a very challenging thing because currently, especially with the lockdown and everything, and I think the normal habits have also become such where we watch TV or Netflix, and we sit on our beds and we have our meals, and so you're already in that supine position. You're half lying down. So that should be avoided.
That should be avoided. So you can go for a small walk maybe after it. You have to have a lot of willpower to do that.
Right.
So I think it will help to...
But these are all investments into our own health.
Yes.
So
So, overall indigestion, which we discussed as a broad term.
Right.
Like, this feeling of fullness, bloating,
right.
Which is there when you overeat, or even, the feeling of nausea, like tendency to vomit,
right.
and heartburn.
Right.
So, all of these can be prevented by these simple, changes in lifestyle.
Right. Are there any other reasons that, so like medication or something that can,
Oh, yes. I think we discussed in our calcium and vitamin D
right.
With the sessions
that
we know that people suffer from a lot of muscle pain and body pain because of vitamin D deficiency, which we discussed is prevalent in almost 80 to 90% of individuals.
Right.
So because of this, people tend to pop in painkillers.
Right.
And painkillers have a very deleterious effect on the lining of the stomach itself.
Right.
As well as causing this backflow of acid and weakening the valve.
Right.
So definitely you should not take in painkillers or without a medical prescription, and instead try to find out why you have body pain or muscle pain. So
to avoid these painkillers because of their side effects is also important.
Yeah, sure.
So apart from the burning sensation, what are the other symptoms that one can probably manifest with progression of this problem?
Yes. So sometimes if this indigestion or heartburn occurs regularly in a person,
right,
and maybe over a period of few weeks or even months,
right,
then there might be complications.
Okay.
So we have to be aware of those, that if you get it regularly, like regular nausea, indigestion, you should definitely go to a doctor.
Okay.
And the complications that can develop are, you can develop stomach ulcers.
Right.
Yeah. You can develop, because of this reflux or backflow that we discussed,
right,
you can have a, chronic dry cough. And even, swelling of the lining of the stomach, which we say gastritis, which we call gastritis, or swelling of the lining of the food pipe. So all of these can cause, even recurrent vomiting, or blood in the vomiting. So we have to be very careful of these symptoms and go to a doctor if they persist.
Right. But in, for symptomatic relief in terms of emergencies, like one is burping a lot because it probably had too much, or it was too spicy, and it has triggered this reflux of sorts. What can one do? I remember home remedies from our childhood. That.
Yeah, sometimes these home remedies are quite effective.
Right.
You can take something like Eno, or even sipping on this light tea, or
cold milk. I think
cold milk. So
Saunf is one thing
fennel,
fennel, like people have that
as a digestive, after meals.
Right.
So
but I think
you can
depend also, person to person.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can also go for over-the-counter antacids.
Okay.
We have, Diagene available quite commonly, and antacids like Pantocid or pantoprazole. You can go for them, but if it does not help over a couple of days,
it's a once in a while thing.
Then you can go to a doctor and see if there's some other problem, or this problem, which is why it's not going away.
Right. So, like as you mentioned that persistence of this problem could lead to complications like ulcers in the stomach, or the food pipe, and dry cough in the throat. this is definitely something that nobody really wants. So although we Indians love our food and we love our spices and chili, if we have things in moderation, it would help. To so we can consume these things as well as so we enjoy them.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so I think yes, I think we now that having relearned these things, most of us probably know these things, but we ignore them. But if not to ignore, we try and remember from our conversation. Hopefully, people will try and practice some of this. Any last words that you would want to share about heartburn and what people should know?
So I think it's a very common thing.
Right.
I mean, we have it quite frequently, even once in a week, and so. But we know why it happens. We know our mistakes. Like sometimes you can keep even a food diary or something like that. If you have regular problems, you can see.
So the food diary would probably, in case we are feeling that certain food is not aligning with how we feel afterwards after consuming it, we should try and avoid or reduce.
Yeah, for example, lactose intolerance is a very, very common cause of indigestion. Causes a lot of bloating and we don't know about it because we feel milk is very helpful, good for our health, and we tend to ignore it. So milk is actually
there's a
quite
possibility
a common,
being
culprit for indigestion. So I think we just have to keep it balanced. That's it.
I think the entire life is about finding the balance and trying to enjoy and at the same time stay healthy to be able to enjoy it for a longer period. So thank you so much, Dr. Shakti. So as I mentioned, Dr. Shakti's YouTube channel is A Simple Practice, and I run a YouTube channel called In Conversation with Akshat Sinha. Please kindly go there, look at what we have shared. It should be useful to you. I mean, if you like it, please like, share and subscribe to those things. And this is a small initiative. Please let us know what you think. Do send us a feedback.
That's important.
Let us know how we can make this better. Maybe there are certain topics that you would want us to, pick up. And thank you so much, Dr. Shakti, for joining us. Signing off, Akshat Sinha. Bye-bye.